Janet.
Hi, Jasline.
Hello. Have you eaten?
My dinner already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
How was your 15 days of Chinese New Year?
Oh, I think I've seen a lot of your dinners.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have a big family. Yeah. So
Yeah, true. My husband's side, very big family.
Mm.
Then my side is quite small.
yeah, that's why. So I also don't have so exciting dinners.
Yeah. What to do except feasting, right? That's why I put on so much weight.
But looking good, looking good. Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Yes. So today being still, are we still in February? Yes, we
Yes.
are still in February,
Yeah,
right?
February.
So February is not only the month of Chinese New Year, and of course, we have the Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah, correct.
So that's why we chose a very timely topic about love.
Yes.
How important it is to actually make sure that we are speaking that language of love that our children are primarily speaking. So this is why parents can avoid the pain, the struggles, or the battles that they have with their children. So growing up, I had my fair share of all this with my own parents. How about you, Jasline?
Own parents, I guess.
Parents, yeah.
I think my parents are quite hands off, and yeah, so they leave it to us to run the show. So I think really not much of a conflict lah for me. Yeah.
I think our generations, most of the time, our parents are pretty busy, right?
Yeah.
Trying to really bring food to the table. So most of our parents would kind of like leave us alone. That's why
Correct.
you say,
or they are busy with their livelihood. Yeah.
Right. And also they are not like us, with this age where everything is available on the internet. We can just Google and find information. For them, in fact, quite a lot of them are not even educated. That's why they wouldn't know about all these Western ideas of
Correct.
Go to parent and all that. Yeah. So it's no wonder that quite a fair big group of us growing up, we actually have our tensions and battles with our parents. So much so that when it comes to us being parents ourselves, we try to improve on that. And that's how our topic becomes so important.
Correct. So luckily, like maybe you could stop share a bit, then we can talk about. We want to
I will start to share today.
Yeah, we invite more people because I think we have a few people here, and I hope you all can actually invite more friends so that they can also have this I feel it's a very, very important topic for parenting, for parents who may not know, okay, actually what is love languages. So I asked my daughter, she said she knows. So yeah, so I think in the school they also teach. Yeah, I think they teach.
For you, that's a good start.
Correct. So
yeah, because I also check with my son for what is your love language, and then my son told me physical touch. And then just now at dinner, I wanted to be sure again, and I asked him,
sure?
What's your love language again? Then he said physical touch, which actually to me I'm actually quite surprised. So today, as we talk about it, some of you parents may also be like my position. That I never thought that it's physical touch for him. I always thought that maybe it's acts of service because he kind of like enjoy that the father and I help him in doing a lot of things. So it's like we are not really that much of the huggy, the kissy type, Yeah, so that's why it came as a surprise to me that his love language is actually physical touch. But thankfully, he grew up feeling our love. Probably because we kind of like cover all the areas. Yeah, that's why it's a balanced approach lah. Yeah, right. So I must constantly remind myself, okay, I think I better hold his hand more.
I think he's a big boy, right? He's a big boy, so
very big, right?
Hug a bit hard lah. Hug a bit hard.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How about your children? Do you know the love languages of your children?
Yes. Jenna, do you mind you stop the share, then we can see our faces.
The share,
more.
Is it?
Yeah, you stop share first. Yeah, so you can see our face more. Yeah.
Okay.
So that means we will be like able to see more of us. So I also asked my daughter, and then she gave a very interesting insight, because she told me love language, it can be, you must understand both. That means receive and what you want from other people. What means what you want is what you receive, right? And also what you want yourself. So she said that it's actually two different kinds. So she told me she actually for her is she like to give acts of service. So she like to sometimes she will text me, say, hey, you want to have this, you want to eat this. That's her acts of service. And then she like to receive words of affirmation. So she differentiates what she receives and what she want to give others. So very insightful lah. I mean, she actually shared with me. Yeah. So
that's why I always thought that my son is an act of service, because he would always like buy me things. And quality time, he would spend time you all know about it. We always go cafe hopping together, right?
Yes.
So I thought it was like quality time, but quality time is my own love language. Yeah. Then my husband's one is act of service. He like to do all sorts of things for us. So I thought my son is a combi, acts of service as well as the quality time. But it came as a surprise to me that his was physical touch.
Yeah. So my son is physical touch, I think also same. So he likes to sit close to you. Yeah. Well, he's a big boy, but I think he likes the physical touch as well.
Yeah, but I think mine is bigger than yours, right? Yours
correct.
is
But we also did a survey. He did a survey because he asked his class, or the teacher asked the class, how many of you still hug your mother, or I mean when he was primary 6, hug your mother or kiss your mother, and he said only 2% in his class. So it means he and another boy two of them So that was quite interesting.
The mother so already taking the mother.
Yeah, I mean on the head forehead.
On the forehead forehead yeah.
Or hug or say I love you. I mean these are few questions.
I think hug is still very common, but kiss will be less common. At that age, Correct. They'll feel very shy to.
Yeah, but it's possible. So I want to say that it's possible. It's possible that the maybe the child he likes the physical touch, and then we are so used to. So maybe it's what they really like to receive. So don't be shy, because why not? I mean, until when they say stop, then you stop. I guess.
Right. True. Yes. So okay, without further ado, shall we?
Yes, we should introduce ourselves. Yeah.
Let me go share the screen again.
We have Christine, and we have Gyok Hoi. Hello.
This is my friend.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Ai. I call her Ai.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. All right. Let's say this is our topic, right?
Yes.
Okay. We were having some technical problems.
We tried. Yes.
With our Zoom. So must see whether it moves. Okay. Is it moving?
Yes, your slide already, yes.
Yeah, it's a bit latent. There's some latency on my side.
Okay.
So, okay, let me introduce myself. I'm a reading specialist, meaning I actually help children who has reading difficulty. I provide intervention services to them. I'm engaged by Ministry of Education Singapore. So I go in with in the preschools to work with the children that are in K2 to help them master the basic skills in reading. So I've worked with over 300 children already to date. Almost been 16 years. A great big part of the year, I actually volunteer my services with the National Library Board's Kids Read program, where we work with children aged 4 to 8 from low-income family, helping them inculcate a love of reading. So through this whole process of me working with my own child, as well as working with all these children from Kids Read and children in the preschool setting, I actually came to develop my own strategies, 3 secret strategies on how to enrich, engage, and enlighten the child, not only in terms of their knowledge, but also in terms of their process in learning, as well as the transformation of getting the enlightenment to know that learning need not be stressful, but it can be joyful. So with my own personal experience with my son, I'm actually very, very blessed and honored to share that when we came a long way. In essence, I was a tiger parent to him when he was very young. So and he developed psychosomatic symptoms. But the moment I stopped doing all the hot housing, my son actually was nurtured into being who he is today. And he's like a servant leader and a volunteer now, same as what I am, serving the National Library Board. He's a self-directed learner, and I call him a progressive academic achiever because it's not from day one that he's the scholar type like yours, Jasline, your girl and your boy. But eventually, over time, he actually blossomed in terms of his academic achievement. But most important of all, I think he is what I endeavor to have in a child, which is very filial, very caring. And so I'm glad to know that, a lot of people say that, hey, you really have a gem of a child there. So with my positive experience in parenting, that's why I feel very strongly that parent and a child should actually bond as young as possible, so that 30 years, 40 years down the road, you actually still have that very great trusting and secure relationship with your child. You don't have to worry about being abandoned by your child, or your child don't care about you, or maybe in their teens you find that I cannot even communicate with my son or my daughter at all. I really feel the heart pain for people around me that share stories like that.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's why I hope that through this series of Talk with You, we can actually inspire more parents. Don't give up hope.
Correct.
Right?
Don't give up hope. Yeah.
And it's like
there's so
much you can still do. No matter if 2 years old, 3 years old, or 13 years old, or 20 years old. I think you can still do the difference now.
Yes, and then usually it's the stage that teenagers that they don't like to talk to you, and then there's they have to prepare for that. So you need to have a relationship with them much before, so that when they come into teenage years, right, you have a better time to manage. Yeah. So
exactly. So you start early means your journey is slightly smoother lah.
Yes.
But if you start later, it's still never
harder,
too late,
yeah.
right?
But it's harder, just harder. Yeah, just a bit harder. Yeah. But don't give up.
Yes, never give up. Never give up. Okay, there's always hope. Yeah, and this is just what I feel very gratified in doing, which is why I do what I do, because these are all testimonials that I received from all the preschoolers that I've been working with, and it's like from here I really know that yes, the 3 strategies that I've been employing to work with these children to help them actually fall in love with learning and reading.
So many beautiful pictures.
I think it's really very, very genuine, very authentic, and I really love the collection of all this. To me, it's like, oh my, this is my motivational, my inspirational wall. I call it, because every time I see this, I feel, wow, this is my gift, in terms of God's gift to me to work with the children, and my gifts to the children to help empower them to really fall in love with learning.
So after I know that you actually do this for the Ministry of Education, I feel really we are very blessed in Singapore. If you are not, if a child is not doing very well in kindergarten, not really reading, we actually have specialists like you to help the children, and that is so important. Reading is so important in a student's life, really. So this is a very, very important role.
You really make a good point. Actually, living in Singapore, we are really, really so fortunate.
Correct.
The government really put in a lot of effort to really try to make sure that the kids are all covered as much as possible. Of course, the cooperation must come from the parents. I think this is speaking from my own experience, right? Even our government provide this kind of intervention program for free.
Yes.
But the children, of course, have to be assessed by the teachers to be needing that kind of intervention support. And it's only for citizens and PR.
I see.
Okay. So when they come into the program, we try to prepare them to be ready for primary 1, so that when they move to primary 1, they still keep their sense of self-esteem, which is very, very important for a child. Imagine going to start primary 1 and then you feel that you are already so far behind everybody else. Then the morale, the esteem, then it's a long journey of of having to reclaim back your self-esteem always is really very painful.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Jenna, we have Dorothy also coming in already. Rumors.
Oh, hi, Dorothy.
Rumors.
Dorothy
Hello.
is my best friend. Thanks a
Okay.
lot for tuning
Hello.
in. And Dorothy works with children with special needs. She can especially, relate to this, children with special needs. I've worked before, so yeah. So I won't want to take up too much time on that because a lot of them actually know my background. So back to you, Jasline, to introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Jasline. So I'm the Singapore's first practical parenting strategist, and I have my Facebook and I have YouTube and I have Instagram, so you can connect to me. And what I do is, my mission is very simple. I want to help parents be happy parents to happy kids. And most important thing being a strategist is because I know the most important and most headache that Singaporean parents have is on academics. And I was like that before, where I struggled, about my son who didn't like to learn and he gave a lot of problems in school. But like you say, we never give up. Okay, and I want to give that, the techniques that I learned through books, from conferences, even like tried and tested methods on my son to help more parents out there. So that's why, here's to reach out.
Yeah. I understand that Jasline, although the children are actually born, so by nature they are really gifted. But I think the son
Yes.
also brought along with him some issues, right?
Yes, he's a behavioral. He's some behavioral called ODD. That means oppositional defiant behavior. So it makes learning and also the behavioral issue that really mask his learning in school. And you can't really throw him into a tuition center as well. So you need to really use your time, effort. Like it takes a village to raise a child. So it was like the counselors are there, the teachers, the principals, our own people, our own family are there to help him. So that's why I know the pain that you went through. If you just have one child that really has this difficulty, in learning, and you have to try all kinds of methods. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So yes, Jasline speaking from first-hand experience working with her own child. Although born gifted, but there are still issues that will actually obstaculize the learning. So unless you are personally involved, which is something that I want to strongly encourage the parents to do so, that be personally involved in your child's learning journey. Don't believe in that myth that I can leave everything to the school, I can leave everything to the teachers will do miracles, will do wonders for my child. Or if you really feel that there might be something that is stopping my child from really optimizing his or her learning experience, please go and seek professional help, advice, assessment early. Don't go into a denial mode and say no, cannot be, because science has shown that the earlier the intervention is carried out, the better is the prognosis. Yeah, and then very soon your child actually doesn't need to be placed on intervention if you start early, right?
Yes, that's right. So thank you so much. Yeah, so we can go to the next slide. So today we have, stay tuned to our Facebook Live because we have very interesting, we have free gifts that's worth $180 only for 5 parents, and we have these tickets to an online parenting conference. Okay, so stay tuned to the end of the Facebook Live. I'll give you the links. Okay, so important. So you can share with your friends right now.
Jasline has got really good deals for you, so please do stay tuned.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So today we have come to that topic of love languages of our children. Right. So most of us love our children.
Yes.
I know. If I dare say all of us, unless there are some handful, maybe there are some issues. But as parents, the moment we gave birth to our children, we love our child so much. But then, somewhere along the line, we find that how is it that my child doesn't seem to reciprocate my love, or doesn't respond in the way that that I want my child to. So how do you make sure that your child really, really authentically and truly can feel that you love him, her? That's why we are here today to talk about this topic.
To unreveal the answer.
Yes, it is really, really important. Why? Because like Gary Chapman is the author who first came out with these 5 love languages for spouse, actually for a relationship, but then subsequently he wrote about the love languages for children as well. And he says that if your child does not feel genuinely loved by you as parents, then they won't be able to be responsive enough to all your guidance. So imagine, as parents, we want the best for our children. We want to guide them. We want to nurture them to the best possible potential to actually pursue their goals, live a life with a larger purpose. But then along the way, we say, "Ayo, I can't even communicate with my child. I can't even get him to listen to me, or I can't even get her, I can't even relate to her." Then all these aspirations that we parents have will actually go down the drain.
Yes, correct. Totally
It
agree.
boils down to really this part about
Correct.
us not meeting each other on the right frequency.
Yes. So I think I deal with parents that also seek me out because they wanted to have better academic results for the children. But in the end, you find that the relationship with the child is simply not there. So it's like from a scale of 1 to 10, it's like 1. So there's no way the child is going to be responsive to whether it's coaching or whether it's whatever the parents has dish out lah, So this is one genuine case that I say that it's so important. So we build on the relationship. So there's not lost yet. We're building a relationship with the child, and that's why I told like Janet and me, and we're so passionate, is that parenting is a long journey. Okay, and we can't give up. Whether you say that your child is not responding to certain coaching, and then no, she didn't give up. Okay, but parents still didn't give up. And importantly is we are not all born with the know-how to be a parent. So that's why she also is in my coaching, and then we are all moving towards like getting the scale from 1 to maybe a 2 or 3 and 4, and to be better. So that's why we are here to tell you about love languages. Once you know about the love languages, things could be much easier, right?
Definitely. Yes. So for our children, when they feel loved, okay, so we must first try to find out what is their unique way of speaking love, of feeling love, receiving love, and giving love. Only if we manage to find that, then our child can really feel it.
That's right.
Really
Correct.
feel it.
We can't just say, right? They must know that it's
I love you.
genuine.
I love you.
They just,
You say life year in, right year out.
I think a lot of times we hear this from our children. It's like, "Oh, I hate you," how much I hate you, and that's really part of we have all experienced this. So they do know that we love them, but they say these kind of words.
Yeah, quite painful as
Yes,
parents
correct.
when you reach that.
But that's just kids lah, I would say.
But yes, like we said earlier, never give up.
Yeah.
You know that it is probably because you haven't yet discovered the love language. How
Okay.
they speak and receive love.
Right.
So
So
at the end of today, okay, Jasline will tell you what you are expected to know.
Yes, very simple. 4 things, okay? Why that love language is so important and why you should know, especially your parents, okay? And we actually have what are the 5 different love languages and how you can know your child's love language, because it's a two-way thing, like we said. You must know what is it first, and from there you learn what is your child's love language, and we can actually respond and action. And of course, 4 is application, how you can apply it properly in your lives. Yep.
So
Next slide.
here we are. We have these 5 love languages.
Okay.
And that first one is actually words of affirmation. Okay. The second one is actually acts of service. The third one is receiving gifts. The fourth is actually quality time. And the fifth is actually physical touch. So how does this work out? How do you detect which one is actually my child's love language? We will go into details about each of the 5 love language. But some parents will say, how do I know? Yeah,
correct.
So-
How do I know? Ask them. Can.
pay
But they're too
attention.
young
Yeah,
to
we
know.
always say, in early childhood, we always tell the teachers and the parents that you must pay attention to what your child is doing, what your child is saying, right?
Yes, that's right. So second thing is
So this
what the
will
child
actually
asks.
give you a clue. Yeah. On what. So some examples, if you pay attention, is that if you listen very intently, and you hear that your child is usually using words, then you can say that, probably my child, his love language is actually words of affirmation. Like he can say that, "You, mommy, I love you." You know,
Yeah.
or
And
you.
some children are very sweet, you know. They will say, "Hey, mommy, your dress is so nice today. Wow, your makeup is so nice." Usually, these are the children that like to have words of affirmation. That's what my
Yes, I
experience.
tell you
Yes.
that in preschool,
Mm.
children 5, 6 years old, I tell you, when we reach school, they will tell you, Miss Janet or Teacher Janet, wow, I like your mask today, wow, I like your, even my supervisor come, they go and tell my supervisor who's like, I think it's
Wow, that's the best.
70 years old, 60 something, 70 years old, who say that, wow, Dr. So and so, you say, oh, you are so beautiful. I was like, oh my goodness, this child really, the EQ so high.
Yeah. Yeah, so likely this child that likes people to praise them and say that they are good in certain ways. So please say all these cues, especially when the parents are trying to get them to do certain things. So I always praise them first. Hey, you're always so considerate. Can you help me wash the cup? That's what I do, to praise them, then they will do for you. So second point is like, for example, I observe that some children like to constantly in your space. Some young children like to sit in your lap, or when you come home, quickly go and hug you.
Kids in the preschool. Yeah.
So that's why you observe all this, right? Means that actually they like a lot of physical touch. Yeah. So these are the clues.
Right. So this is just very, very informal way for you to detect. Yeah?
So bigger children just ask them, can really.
Yes. Yeah. And then later we will give you a way of how you can actually
scientific way.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Formally. Okay, this is just roughly first, all right? Yeah.
Wow.
The appetizer. So what it looks like roughly, 5 languages, if we are using like coffee for an example. Word of affirmation, you will hear something like, wow, your coffee is very delicious. That means, they say very nice things when you make coffee for them.
Yes.
Then the other way is, mommy, would you like some coffee? I'll get coffee for you. Yeah.
Oh,
so that's the way. And as for those who like to give,
they'll just buy it.
You buying something for them. Yes. So there's receiving gifts. They like gifts. So you like, here's a coffee, then you buy for them.
Correct.
Same thing. They like to buy things for you. If your child goes for in the past, my son goes for exchange programs, or in primary school they do, right? And then come back with very nice gift from China, from Brunei, all this. That shows that this child really likes, one of the languages is
correct.
Quality time means they always want to jio you means invite you.
Yeah, they want the time with you.
Yeah,
quality
let's go for
time.
pizza. Let's go for ice cream. Let's go for what? Physical touch means, they like to hold. Let me hold. Yeah, oh, mommy, this coffee is so warm, like you, like that.
Yeah.
That is for the analogy when it comes to
correct. Okay, let's give Janet some thumbs up and some hearts. I think very interesting. So maybe I could add on to this is, for example, words of affirmation like donut. Okay, let's say about donut. So it's a donut. It's a food as a snack, right? So children who likes the words of affirmation, you tell you, wow, this donut is very tasty, very nice. Mommy, I like this donut. Is very tasty. So this probably the words of affirmation is what the love language is. And for example, for children that acts of service, I'm picking up donuts, want anything? So like say, my daughter likes to, give you the service, I just 顺便, I will just along the way, what do you like anything? Yeah, and receiving gifts, like for example, okay, just buy for you, finish. Okay, and quality time means let's go and get some donuts, and coffee, so they don't actually buy it, but they want you to go with them and enjoy together with them. Okay, so they want the time. And physical touch. Okay, so for example, they like to hold you tenderly a fresh donut, so they would like express themselves. Say, hey, I think it's that's a physical touch that they want. Like so, interesting.
Mommy, you feel like, wow, like you're like a teddy bear.
So
that's a physical touch. Yes.
Hello, Paddy.
Right.
Paddy came in. Hello.
So this is really like a master framework of the 5 love languages. So if it's like word of affirmation, so basically it's like you need to encourage, you need to affirm, you need to show that you appreciate, empathize, compliment, and you listen very actively to your child.
Wow.
And what are the things you can do? That means you really write them a card.
Can.
To tell them that they have done a good job, or you say, words like terrific, awesome, you did it, you're number one. So the child looks forward to all this kind of affirmation. Then what you need to avoid is essentially not constructive criticism. Some parents are really, wow, they just know how to criticize without telling the child to improve. Hey, how come you did so badly? But never look at the error analysis and say that, from this analysis it shows that you will if you do this you will avoid that.
Actually, what's the affirmation? Jenna, do you think most of the children will like it? Right?
Of course.
So it's like universal.
He doesn't want to be.
So it's universal. So we should use more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So we should avoid certain things. Yeah.
Correct. The tips we want to offer to parents today is that you try to speak positively to your child, praise them aloud. When they are in the public, you praise them aloud. I don't think there's any issues right now. Last time we always say that cannot lah, very paiseh. People say tawang mai kwa, zi mai zi kwa,
but it should not. Yeah.
Nowadays it's not like that. Nowadays parents, you can see that parents are more forthcoming in terms of sharing. My child got the Eagles Award lah. What award? Yeah, I think this one actually makes the child feels that they are really, really, my parents are proud of me as well.
Yes,
of course we do not say, academic is the only thing. If your child is like doing very good charity work, you should also publicize it.
Correct.
Yeah, so that the child knows that you value things other than academic.
Correct.
Right?
Because children nowadays are always listening, wherever you're talking to anyone on the phone, chit chat or whatever, they can see and they can hear. So yes, please give the praises to them for their of course, when we praise, we like to praise about their efforts, rather than, you're so clever. We say, you actually work very hard. You actually managed to get the awards or something. So that will make him want to work harder. So there's always like strategies, like I say, to say something like you want to give him a instruction to do. You rather say positive words than negative words, right? Like you say, giving them empathize. I know you're very tired, but I think you can do another 30 minutes. I think that's why we say communication is so important, and plus we learn about this is even more powerful. So it becomes your struggles with your child will reduce every day.
The important thing to note here is that you don't always praise the child for the result. You praise the child for the effort.
That's right.
It's like you see, you notice that you have put in that additional half an hour every day, and then you see, wow, you have improved by this. Yeah. And it's not that from B to A. it's not that. It's not all about the grades. It's about the effort, what they have done differently to help them achieve what they desire. Yeah. So this is the kind of things that we must pay attention to as parents, right? So Jasline, you can go with the physical touch.
Yeah, physical touch is, I think, it's like kisses, cuddling, even like, like you say the child has to be on your lap and then reading, anything that is physical with them, even like doing activities together, that's also physical touch. And the most important thing is that we should not, things to avoid is actually physical neglect or abuse. And the important thing is the tips is that, you hold the hands, like, children will like you to hold hands, but when they grow up, they don't. So please appreciate, the time that you have, and then hold their hands, okay? And also you can cuddle them, like read together. Yeah, Janet. About receiving gifts. Yeah.
So gifts, of course, especially when you're dealing with very young children, they love all sorts of gifts, that you're giving to them. Nice erasers, nice sharpeners. So gifts, and shows them that you care for them. That you bother. So being older kids, perhaps they might be looking at what kind of gifts that you're getting. Does it show your thoughtfulness or not? So if you just anyhow get things, like the kids know that you just anyhow grab something.
Yes, must
you
be
don't even care for me, right? You don't even know what I want. Yeah, and on special occasions, especially their birthdays, then if your child is speaking this language of love, then make sure that you don't forget their birthdays. Yeah, it's so important for you to celebrate their birthday together. Don't forget that special occasion.
That's right. So actually, a lot of parents nowadays give me the some of the problems is that the children, they have been giving a lot of gifts to them. Okay, then they are taking them for granted. So next week I think this Wednesday I'll be talking about nowadays, kids taking the parents for granted. So I guess, like you say, you must have a reason for gift or gift, whether it's a birthday, whether he has done well, whether he has, rather than you just keep giving gift, and then it becomes imagine you every day, there's a coffee on the table, you take for granted, right? So when you complain about this, actually look at your actions, right? Are you giving the gift for the right reason, or are you just give? So that is also something to think about.
Yeah, and one of the important philosophies my husband and I have adopted as we go in our parenting journey is that we don't give the child what he wants. You give the child what he needs.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the child needs to have this basic education, you give the basic education. So we told our son that, son, there is not going to be parent scholarship for you overseas. So if you really desperately want to go overseas, then you make sure that you earn your own scholarship from the government.
Same. I also say the same thing.
Yeah. Otherwise, local university is the basic. We know you need this education. We have already, invested in the right policy that when it matures, it will have the money to see you through your local university education, but not going to US or going to Australia. No, don't you ever have that thinking that the parents will give this to you.
Correct. I think that's the same thing as I did, because we want them to really work hard, and know that, upon 18 years old, the rest is really up to you. Okay, do your best. You want to go somewhere far, okay, you got to go and work hard for it, So I guess it just works. My two children is the same as well. So you give them really, they have to really go and work hard to get what they want, rather than we give it to them. Yeah. So
quality time then.
Quality time. Okay, quality time. Yeah, remember it's quality time. It's not like okay, I would say one-to-one is very, very important. Okay, for every child, even you have 5 children at home, right? You also need to have quality time, whether it's just a coffee, like you say, or maybe just a walk downstairs, a park, have a walk and talk to the child. Okay, this is creating the special moments, and these are the moments that the child will tell you certain things, and then that's when you create that bond. Okay, so importantly is the tips that, like, for example, give you some important tips. Like I remember yesterday I was talking to a parent, also the same thing I've asked about relationship and whether you actually talk to your daughter. Okay, her daughter is a teenager so she said, I will, because we are working from home, she said, when I go for lunch, I will bring her. So that's her way of like trying to bring her for quality time to have a lunch with her. So that's when you really make the effort That's important for fathers as well as daughters. Is also important because that's when you know your father, and there's the bonding, and especially what you expect from a guy. It's important that you spend time with a father as well. So please make the effort to have the quality time.
What you just say is actually very, very important. Some parents have the misconception that only mothers take care of the daughters and the fathers take care of the son.
Yes.
Your daughters must know how to relate to your husband, right? The fathers, in order to know how to look for a good spouse in future.
Correct. That's right. So that's why I say that's why I raised the fact that we really need to really level up our parenting, listen to parents which have successful and done it before, and we need to also copycat them a bit, so you can actually learn. These are the great because your child will grow up very fast. If you do not do certain small things, right, you find that it's too late, then it's really too late already. Grow up with adults. So yeah. Okay, Jenna, can you share?
One important thing about this quality time is really the one-to-one.
Yes, one-to-one.
Don't go and get distracted with your
handphone,
social media or whatever. Please, when it's the time with your child, make sure you dedicate the time with the child. When it's reading time, your bedtime routine, then don't go and look at your handphone. just spend that 10-15 minutes with your child. It's doable, all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. We have 2 more friends who came in. So please
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
So
for the
please,
strong support, all my friends.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So let me cover the fifth love language, which is the acts of service. Okay, when a child speaks the language of acts of service, you will commonly, hear phrases like, I will help you, mommy, I can help you, or daddy, I will help you wash the car. Mommy, I'll help you do the dishes or
Wow.
sweep the floor. Yeah, some kids, they really, in school, we know that, wow, these
so
are the ones really very good. There was once, 1 year, I have this child, he's part of the triplet. He will always help me put back the table runners, the deco on the table. At the end of my session, wow, these are really, then I know what this child really.
Yeah, and then Janet, I want to tell you, and then you will say that, wow, your mother really teach you, right? So mothers, really, these are moments, you must cherish. That parenting really will give you the benefits when you see your children really growing up, and then the adults really like the child very much. Correct or not, Janet?
Right. Don't think for a moment that, ayo,
Yes.
in Chinese we say 帮倒忙. That means instead of helping, it create a mess, right?
Yes.
So you tell the child, you don't want, I do it myself.
It's the thought that counts, right?
Yes. Yeah, even though you know that you will probably end up
messing up, right? I know.
The child really.
I've been through. It's like, oh yeah, but it's okay. I said, thought is important, no. Never mind, I will clean up the mess, do it the better next
helping
time.
out in the cooking as well, or the baking, right? They like to do things together with you. And so when they grow up, maybe they are doing project, right? They look forward to actually mommy or daddy helping them in their project as well.
Yeah.
Not doing the project for them, Let me stress, helping.
Yes.
Yeah, right. They really appreciate that when I need a cupboard, or I need a Venkat sheet, or I need whatever.
How to cut it properly.
Drive them to the place to get the thing. The driving them to the place to get the thing is the acts of service.
Correct.
Parents, it's their language to the child. Or they feel that the child is mugging for some projects, deadline or what. The parents actually bother to cook supper for them. Acts of service.
Correct.
Right. So that is that language. So if you have a child that's like that, you can actually also make sure that you teach them how they can serve others.
Yes.
Like I'm happy to say that I managed to inspire my son to actually really serve others through volunteering his service. So acts of service become one of the love language that he can in the world.
Same. It's so important.
That's wonderful. Right?
Okay, yes.
Okay, next one. Right. So we have our Gary Chapman, the author, who shares that love actually can be expressed and received in all the 5 languages. Yeah. But the primary language is something that is the key thing that the child responds to a lot. So if you don't harness or leverage on that, then that child will not feel the love. Back to our very first slide, you love your child a lot, right? But does your child feel it or not? Yeah.
Yes,
if you have been, we call barking up the wrong tree, right?
Yes.
If you are doing all the other love languages except the primary
one. Okay. Must reflect. Everybody go and reflect.
They end up not really feeling it, not really knowing it. Yeah.
Correct.
So once you are able to speak that primary love language very fluently, then you can actually, like what Gary says, sprinkle in the rest like icing on the cake, right? So that's why we have a very balanced approach. You do cover the other 4 languages.
So tonight the homework is to find the primary love language.
Primary one, yes. Yeah, but we all remember the
rest
other 4 as well. Yes, correct.
We go to the next one.
Okay, so Jasline.
Yeah. So remember, these are the key points for our summary already of all our have been learning. So love your children unconditionally, not because they have scored A's or they have done something that you say, oh, I love you because of this. But love your children, because our job as parents primarily is also to love them. Okay. So if you have a child whose primary love language is gifts, you need to remember that gifts are not a replacement for your time, right? Words of affirmation, acts of service or physical touch are all important. Like that's why we know 5, right? But we know the primary one, it will win the race already. But the rest is make it combine to have the power. Okay. So if you have a child whose primary love language is physical touch, So you cannot reject to give them words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, or gifts. So if you neglect any of the 5 languages, right, love languages will mean that something is important. So we are reinforcing the slide just now. So your child will need to see your love for him or her expressed in all 5. So this is the most important thing. That's why everyone you have to show, right? But you need to show the most important one, the must show. Yep. Yeah, that's nice.
So next we will have some
Yeah.
quick points to
Yeah,
share
Janet.
with you.
Mm.
Yeah, you can remember basically if your child love language is gifts, right? For instance, yeah, it need not have to be something that you always have to buy. Because some people they want to, their value is frugality, right? They don't want to, every time spend money. Yeah, but you can make something for your child. Yeah, it can be stickers, it can be love notes, Yeah, just don't always think that, oh, I must be spending lavishly on a child, buying
Correct.
expensive
Yeah,
things.
that is the wrong perception, right? Yeah.
Right, yes.
Mm.
Yeah, so that then you are buying love only,
Yeah.
So that's not, or you're compensating the gifts with your time. Yeah, which is also not love. So if your child is growing up, hugs and kisses, they might not feel comfortable. Like earlier on we were saying, well, if your child is already like 18, 20, they might feel that it's very awkward to give you a kiss on the forehead or the cheek, right? Then you can have a routine, like it's the good morning or good night hug. Yeah. So as long as you make it into a routine, I think your child will feel very comfortable with that.
Just like once a day thing, that.
Right.
better.
Yeah.
Mm.
So and then most important of all, of course, is always that observation. Very keen in the observation of your child's love language. Yeah. So that you will know. Even you be aware of your own love language as well, because you will unknowingly, or rather, tend to use your own love language style, and then
that's right.
Yeah, onto so like for instance, my love language is quality time. So I will kind of like expect my husband to spend quality time with me, and but my husband's one is not that. So to him, it's not that. His acts of service to him, doing housework for me, cooking for me, everything is showing his love for me. But if I keep waiting for that one-to-one time with him, I'm never ever going to get it, right?
Only lunches and dinners. That's the
Don't set
only
yourself
time.
up for disappointment, in short.
Correct.
Their language.
Excellent sharing, Janet. All right.
Yeah. Personal experience.
Yes.
So next one. Okay, this is a quick one just to show you that Gary Chapman and his partner, they actually wrote several books. Yeah, and this one is for training children and family. Of course, you can look up, if you're keen. So go Google for it. Yeah. And okay, now we've come to this really
scientific.
Yes, this is the icing there. You must be wondering, wow, Janet and Jasline talk so much, I cannot know which one, I may not be so sure.
Yes.
Guess what? They have actually developed a site for you to go. You can just go to this www.5lovelanguages.com, right? And then under quizzes, they even let you pick your child's age. Whether your child is 5 to 8 or 9 to 12, you can do this thing, and then you can actually do it. You can do a couple one as well. You can do your children's one. You can do the teens one. You can also single also can do it. So you can go to this site and find out what is the love language, right? Cool.
Nice.
Yes. All right.
Very good. Okay. Very good.
We've come to the end of our sharing today on the 5 love languages, which I truly hope that you find value in it. Yeah. So for me, I'm a reading specialist. So if you have any issues on helping your child along with the learning journey, like
or any of your friends.
Yes. I have been giving consultation to a lot of my friends who know me for years already. So they will call me, I will give them half an hour consultation or even 1 hour. And basically to tell them strategies that they can use to enrich the child's knowledge, engage the child in the process of learning. Because many will say that the kids doesn't seem interested in learning, and then also enlighten the child that learning is fun
way.
Same thing for the parents, okay? You need not have to be yelling and stressful. So if you would like to reach out to me to have a consultation with me, just send me an email at ideas4reading@gmail.com, and your subject, you just put 30-minute consultation.
Wow.
Then I'll get in touch with you. Yeah, and we will arrange a time with both our convenience that we can then hear about what are the things that I can support you with in the journey.
Yes.
To help your child.
Correct.
Okay,
So
and you can actually link up with me in Facebook. Yeah, add me as friend or go to my page and like it, or watch out at LinkedIn. You can see my profile on what are the things that I do.
Awesome, Janet. Yes.
The next will be Jasline.
Okay, hi. So I have a strategy call that I'm giving to only 5 parents tonight. So you can go to this link, HTTPS, which I'll give in the comments later, bit.ly/just call form. So this is a Google form which you fill in very simple particulars, so I can have an idea before I actually call you. Okay, so this is only for 5 parents, and you can send me an email as well, right? Yeah. Next, Janet.
Good job. Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
so for me, this is exciting because we're going to have an International Parenting Conference next Saturday on the 6th of March. It's from 1:30 o'clock to 5 p.m. and we have 7 different parenting experts in different areas, and it's an international because we have speakers from Taiwan, we have Malaysia, even Philippines and Canada, right? So we have this 7 of us here. We want to give value to all our Facebook group friends, okay, or people we are invited exclusively, so that if not, it's actually $399. The tickets are really $399. So that's why, and we're giving you free ebooks, free courses, during the lucky draws. So please come and register. The link is here. Okay, I'll also put it in the comments later. https:/bit.ly/VIP0603. Okay, so do come for my conference. Yeah.
Later, I think Jasline will put it up below the comments for our live, right? Facebook live, and then you look out for it, and then fast fingers will be rewarded. Yeah,
first 100 tickets. So it's now like about half already. So about 50 already.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is because
in a mobile addicted generation,
yes.
Isn't that really so relevant now? Yeah.
Very relevant because we always have this problem. All my parents come to me, it's always a gadget problem. They limit the gadget time. Yeah. So they also want to know more about strategies. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Thank you so much.
So really, we look forward. Jasline and I always look forward to bringing you topic of value to you in your parenting journey. So do feel free to drop a note to any one of us if you are in each of our different network of friends, to let us know maybe there are certain topics that you would like us to cover. Yeah, by all means, just let us know, and then Jasline and I will be more than happy to be able to share with you our strategies and our tips, to how to make your parenting journey more smooth. Yeah, and really, we don't want to have any more pain than what is necessary, right? Parenting, of course, is not an easy journey, but since we have already made that decision to be parents ourselves, right? So why not make the best of it? So I always believe that parenting can always be legacy. A lot of people say, I want to leave a legacy for my kids, in terms of wealth and all this. To me, legacy is how you want to bring up your child in terms of how he lives his life. Yeah, legacy is not so much about the success. To me, it's more about how to enjoy life, how to make life meaningful. After all, you make this trip to Earth,
to be happy.
Yeah, to be a human being, right? So, what's the purpose of coming to be a human being?
Purposeful.
To have that experience. You have your mind and your soul enriched. To have to be engaged in interactions with your environment, with the people, and then of course to be enlightened enough to really go and pursue your goals, to really live a life with a larger
to make an impact to other people and have a purpose. That's important.
Yes. That is my own take basically is my own strategies that I would like to share with parents, how you can actually bring up your kids easily.
Okay, so thank you so much for all our friends here, like Joanne and Ai-Jing just joined us, and they give us so much hugs and all the likes, Yeah, so thank you so much. Never mind, y'all can also see the replay, because we have come to the end of our life. And thank you, Janet. And we'll see you
Thank you,
next
Jasline.
month.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye. Good night.